Some of you have been asking me, Alex, how are you doing? Can you give us an update on your investment banking journey? And today I'm going to do just that. So let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in my IB journey so that hopefully I can help you by sharing my experience. All right. Welcome to Investment Banking Insights. This is the only show absolutely dedicated to helping you learn both the technical and non-technical aspects of the investment banking process. Hi, my name is Alex Mason. I am your host, and I am currently a second-year MBA student here at Cornell and about to enter the field of investment banking as an associate. So super excited, and I've been getting a lot of messages from listeners lately just kind of asking like how things are going, asking about specific topics that they're struggling with or trying to learn more about. And so I just wanted to take time for an episode to give you a little bit of an update about how my own journey is going so that you kind of know what to expect maybe along your journey. So I started this show in May of 2023, which it's hard to believe. That's almost 2 years ago now. And in that period of time, I've grown tremendously as a person in many ways, both inside the world of investment banking and outside the world of investment banking. Just some reflections that I have are, it's really quite a quick journey to kind of do the whole recruiting process. There's really not a lot of time when you think about it. Like if you're going into an MBA process, you're starting your recruiting around August, September, and you're usually done by December, which is only a 3 or 4 month period of time. And as an analyst, I think it's a little bit longer. Maybe you're starting networking in say like September, October, and then recruiting heavily in January, February, and then you're usually done like shortly after that. If you're looking to get into investment banking, one thing that I've learned, I've had some conversations with some of you guys who are in the recruiting process now, like start early, start preparing early if you're thinking about this process, because it's really tough to be in a situation where the on-cycle recruiting phase has passed and you're just kind of like trying to network and do all of those things in terms of applying and interviewing when firms kind of already have those slots filled up. So that's one reflection that I've had recently is it really helps to start early. That's one thing that helped me is I was preparing my technicals 3 months before like the formal process was starting so that I didn't really have to worry about technicals as much. I could focus more on the networking side of things and on my behaviorals. So I would encourage you to do the same thing if you're early on in your journey, especially, is don't wait and just start getting going with whatever it is. Some updates on my journey is, I'm really just trying to enjoy this last semester of business school as much as possible and also just really help as many people as possible. I'm working on some cool projects on the side, which I'll talk about more in future episodes. It's really just humbling to be able to meet so many people who are going through this process and have experienced a lot of the same things that I've experienced. One thing that I want to bring up is I've noticed that there's kind of like two main groups of people going into investment banking. You got the people who are going through a structured recruiting process, whether it's at your college, university, or at a grad school program, like an MBA program like I'm in, or you have people who are doing some sort of unstructured recruiting process. Maybe they just graduated college and kind of missed the boat and are now trying to get into the industry. Yeah, that's usually like the most common thing. Is like if you're a college student or a recent college grad, or you're doing a master of finance or some other kind of master degree that isn't an MBA and you're trying to get into investment banking, that's kind of another path. And one thing that I've seen both groups kind of struggle with is this networking piece. I keep hearing about it, and I've had some episodes on the show related to networking, so let me know if you think it'd be more helpful to do more episodes like that. It's so hard sometimes to understand exactly how to approach bankers and do it in a way that gets you noticed, right? That helps you move forward to that next step. what I've been telling people in some conversations I've had recently is you really have to focus on the human connection, right? If you're sitting at a table with someone and they're asking you questions, they're talking with you, if you're on a Zoom call and you're doing a coffee chat, like it's not good enough to kind of sit there and nod your head and ask a couple questions about banking and like answer technicals and just kind of sit there and be like, all right, am I good? Like, this is not an exam. This is not a test where you show up and you answer questions, and then if you answer enough questions right, they move you on to the next round. This is all about building rapport and relationships so that people feel like they trust you, they feel like you are competent enough to do the job, and that they might actually like working with you one day, right? That's what this is about. That's what networking is about. When I've had a lot of conversations recently with listeners of this show, it's been like, why am I not getting moved to the next round? I feel like I'm really sharp on my technicals, or I feel like I'm doing all the right things, but they're missing the fact that like they're not really engaging with the person, especially a lot of younger candidates, people who are maybe in your shoes, maybe 18, 19, 20 years old, who haven't had a lot of interview experience or networking experience. That's some area where I think that people kind of fall short oftentimes. So it's best to get up to speed on actually building those conversational skills so that you can really make an impression. And so if you have any specific questions about that, I'd love to know what you think, what your frustrations and challenges are as I do this show. Having listener conversations is something I've been doing recently. I've also been working on my exams. I had an episode a couple of weeks ago. I'm studying for my FINRA exams right now. So my SIE, Security Industry Essentials exam, I think I'm like 50% of the way done studying for that. I feel like I probably should have been studying more, but that's an exam I think I'll take a couple of weeks from now. And then my Series 63 exam, which is another one that I have to take before I work full-time as an investment banker. I'm just hitting the books and just learning a lot of that stuff. The good news is I think the technicals of the recruiting process, they do prepare you pretty well for the SIE because a lot of the content is the same. It's like, this is how bonds work, this is how equities work, that kind of stuff. But there's also a lot of legal memorization things that you have to know. Like, 90% of the assets of a REIT have to be real estate related in order to qualify as a REIT. Like, those kinds of rules are not covered in the technicals for investment banking recruiting. So once you get to that phase, just know that you're going to have to be memorizing a lot of kind of legal jargon and rules and things like that. But hey, it's all very doable stuff. I think especially once you've gotten your offer and you're just focused on passing the license exams, you're going to be fine if you put the time in. So those are just some thoughts of like where I'm at now, prepping for SIE, prepping for Series 63, wrapping up these final courses for graduation at Cornell, and just trying to give back as much as possible, right? Like, I have this beautiful luxury of time right now, and so I just want to make sure that I'm helping as many people as I can on this journey. Thank you for joining me on the journey. It's been really amazing so far, and I'm also hoping to have more guests on the show. So if you have a particular interesting story about recruiting for yourself and you found some success and gone through some challenges, I would love to hear from you and maybe have you on the show. You can just leave me a comment or send me a message, and I'd love to talk. But that's what I got for you today. Just want to give an update on the journey and how I'm doing, and please let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear from you. All right, I'll see you next time on Investment Banking Insights. Have a good one.